So when I was in grade 11, I did eventually start failing hard. And whatever I was doing was just good enough. Like, they weren't stellar, and my comprehension wasn't good. And I think that a lot of it had to do with, again, my environment, because I was going home not really being motivated to work any harder because I was trying to be rebellious and challenge my parents all the time about religion and all the other stuff. But at the same time, like the circle I was hanging around with was also not looking forward to going, university, become doctors and that kind of stuff. They were kind of like living life and enjoying it a lot. And like, I think one of the things that was really good was the YMCA, because I joined in elementary school, and by then I was at the Y for about 4 years. And that was kind of one of the things that really taught me my work ethic and kept me away from completely crashing and burning. Because I would go meet up with one of my best friends who was like amazing, like he's so smart, and like he was always working really hard, not just in the gym but also for like school and everything. And he did go on to do well for himself a little bit, and so that was one of the things that kept me bouncing back and coming. So like, I went to summer school and then I corrected like the things I failed, but then it was still a matter of finding direction. So then my same friend who I was going to the Y with a lot made me at the same time apply for the reserves at this point as well, right before we were applying for university, because he's a year younger. And now, because I'm taking an extra year in high school, we were both graduating at the same time. So he thought if we both go to university, we could both like start our army training together. So I didn't want to join initially, and that's when it was like it was even harder to bounce back, because like I took a 5th year in high school and then I still didn't do well enough to get into university. So there I was hoping and basically banking everything on being in school in September, and I wasn't. And then so I'm just sitting there, and now my friend is going to university, my last friend, and everybody else is already approaching their degree. And so then I got a call from them and saying, hey, like, if you come today and do all your paperwork, we'll take you tomorrow, because by then we'd already gone through the process. So I ended up joining. I took the training. It was weekend training in the first course we did, and I really liked it. I liked the people I was with. I was meeting a lot of interesting colleagues from like all age groups and all types of ethnicity even. And like I think one of the better part was, in my first course, I met people from all over Ontario. So it wasn't just like GTA. I was like, oh, there's a St. Catharines, there's like Huntsville. There's all these places that I had no idea, because I was just living this sheltered life where I'm just like, go to school, come back and go to the YMCA. And I did my summer training with the Army, like infantry training. That was fun. We did what we needed to get qualified. It was hard, but I thought like that made everything else easy, because when I came, like I was always comparing the difficulty of like the quality of life that I have versus what I was doing in the summer. So it was like not hard to sit in my room for 8 hours and study, because I'm like, well, I could have been like not sleeping and just standing outside in the cold for 8 hours, which is some of the things we were doing. And so I did the course, and I think it was very important into my character building, because I continued to focus on like my ability to work really hard. Which is something I inherited from like just being at the Y consistently. But the more important thing was the Army training, because that was like all the things that I needed to learn to build character and then get into a better work ethic.